Welcome back to NarrateNow. Today we're exploring a surreal 2009 Japanese comedy fantasy mystery film titled Symbol. Spoilers ahead, you've been warned. A Japanese man in colorful pajamas wakes up in a strange white room. No doors, no windows, no ceiling. When he inspects one of the walls, he finds something bizarre, a protruding object shaped like a male member. Out of curiosity, he presses it. Instantly, dozens of baby angels burst out of the walls giggling and vanish just as fast. In their place, more of those odd protrusions appear around the room. This begins the phase called learning. Panicked, the man screams and begs for help. But he's completely alone. Soon he starts pressing the buttons just to see what happens. Each one drops a random item into the room. A toothbrush, a large vase, even a mountain of chopsticks. He realizes each button gives the same item every time. But the fun ends when a small cart flies out and crashes into his legs. Another button reveals a giant butt that farts in his face. Undeterred, the man keeps experimenting, building up a pile of objects. Eventually, he triggers sushi to appear. Great news since he's hungry. But there's no soy sauce. Despite repeatedly asking his unseen captors, nothing comes. When the soy sauce finally appears after he finishes eating, he furiously tosses it aside. Next, he finds a pair of retro 3D glasses. Wearing them reveals a baby angel pointing at his own member, perhaps a clue. But pressing that button only triggers a countdown and another butt attack. Hours pass. He reads manga volumes, but volume 6 is missing. When he finally presses the right button again, it opens a hidden panel revealing a door. Excited, he rushes toward it, but it slams shut before he gets there. Now begins his effort to escape. He tries different ways to keep the button pressed. Stepping on it, using a fly swatter, jump rope, even a fan. He stacks a heavy vase on it, but it's not heavy enough. And when he fills it with sushi, it becomes too heavy to lift. He ends up removing the sushi piece by piece with chopsticks just to carry it again. But just as he's about to use it, the vase is destroyed by a passing African tribesman. Another surprise from the buttons. More failed ideas follow. Tape, steel plates, and mountains of sushi. Nothing keeps the button pressed. One random press drops a rope from the ceiling, inspiring a new strategy. He swings toward the door and nearly makes it. But there's a second lock that requires a key. Eventually, he triggers a button that briefly reveals the key, but it disappears when the button resets. After multiple rope swing attempts, he uses a plunger to propel himself, finally grabbing the key and reaching the door. But then, another twist, a combination lock requiring 3 numbers. By luck, he sees the tribesman again, this time with 3 numbers on his forehead. He goes through the full swinging routine 3 more times to input the code. On the 3rd try, the door budges, but another panel closes behind him, trapping him. Exhausted and defeated, he sits and reflects on his time in the room. It was strange, but at least he had space, and now he's confined in a tight spot. Then, a breeze. He discovers a fake panel in the wall, breaks through, and runs down a pitch-black hallway for what feels like eternity. By the time he reaches the next room, his pajamas are faded and his hair has grown long. This is the practice phase. Similar room, but now with adult angels and the same protrusions as buttons. Meanwhile, in Mexico, a boy named Antonio worries about his father, a pro wrestler called Escargot Man. His family notices he's quieter than usual. His opponent is younger, but Antonio's grandfather reminds them that experience matters more than youth. Sister Karen drives Escargot Man to the arena. Antonio is bullied at school for believing in his dad, but later Karen picks up Antonio and their grandfather to attend the match. The opponents, Super Demon and Tequila Joe, enter the ring first. Escargot Man and his partner, Silver Eagle, fighting as Kiss Me A Lot, follow. Silver Eagle starts strong, but is soon double-teamed. Escargot Man hesitates to join until Silver Eagle tricks the enemies into hitting each other. When Escargot Man finally steps in, he's overwhelmed, until our man in pajamas presses a button. Suddenly, escargot man's neck stretches magically, knocking out both opponents. Each time the man presses the button, more chaos follows, knocking out teammates, referees, even the audience. Bored, he tries other buttons, causing a fire-breathing rock singer in LA, a magician's failed trick in Russia, and a barking man in China. Then he notices, this room has no ceiling and angels float above. He stops pressing and starts climbing. Using the protrusions as footholds, every step he takes affects the earth. Flowers bloom, animals die, humanity evolves. The higher he climbs, the greater the impact. Toaster ovens, the moon landing, love, war, all triggered by his movement. Eventually, he no longer climbs. He floats. Long hair, long beard, glowing. He's not a prisoner anymore. He's a creator. He now presses buttons with purpose, crafting the best of humanity. Surrounded by feathers, he enters a glowing portal and finds himself in the final room. On its walls are the continents. In its center, a giant button. He approaches it. This is the final phase, future. If you enjoyed this mind-bending journey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Narrate Now for more fascinating film recaps.